gang of maniacs everybody's got some brand of insanity of their own.
Okay, so Tex has gone there because it's familiar.
That in part, and partly.
How come it was familiar?
Huh?
How come it was familiar to him? He'd been there?
Yeah, he went there with Dean Morehouse. And there's an Indian princess that was in the reservation that had a motorcycle group. Motorcycle groups are lapped over with other motorcycle groups. One chrome helmet holds a motorcycle group of 50 that is chartered for the road. That if they're not chartered and you don't have the right colors, then the motorcycle group that's chartered for 250 that don't have the helmet but they got the daggers will run the other ones off the road. In other words, you got different motorcycle gangs doing different things on different perspectives.
Okay, so Tex has gone there because it's familiar. He's been there before. Did you ever go there?
Yeah.
What took you there?
The homosexual that lived in the back.
Who was that? Garrettson?
A guy that used to deal grass and some other things, pornography. Polanski was in, see, here's the thing, man, I don't want to start pulling people's covers, but all them people that you thought were so wonderful and nice, wonderful, you know, they wasn't as wonderful as you thought their dogs might have been on the chauffeur's night off. You dig? In other words, there's all kinds of things happening in the darkness of what was going on that, you know, like how does someone from Poland get to Hollywood and go all the way over the top and, you know, have everything it is like a Valley of the Dolls. Where does one camera click in and what film are we sending to Hong Kong for the other? In other words, like, that's what I was fixing to tell you about Doris Day, the reason that came down. When the Oriental, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Oriental came to me, and I don't know whether you've ever experienced any music on the level that I play music on. But I play music on a level that you've never seen before. I don't play music on the level of little girl music. I play music on the level of just as flat ass as you can sing Christ dying on the cross level.
Okay.
You know, which is scary. It's really, really far out. It's a lot of people try to copy what they can do with it, you dig? But it's like, it's got to come from the soul, you know. So when it came in and the music's lifted up, there are certain levels of the mind. You ever experienced levels of the mind where other people couldn't exist? They go crazy. The mind, the pattern of their mind. Like your mind is patterned by tom, 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 and someone comes, set, pop, you see what that's doing to your mind? Now take it up. You see what I'm saying? In other words, when you get there, then this guy starts going crazy. Then he gets on his knees and says, oh, Lord, oh, God. And I say, man, he must be talking to the bass man because, you know, the drummer just left. You scared the drummer off, you dig? Two other people fell down. Somebody went through a fit. Somebody wanted to pray. You see what I'm saying? In other words, when you open up the soul, when you open up the whole of that soul, you dig?
Okay, this is great. How we still got a pile of bodies in this house. So how did they get dead? I mean, they haven't just died.
Okay.
Yeah.
The guy comes up to me and he says, you're God. You must be him. I said, get away from me with that.
Who said that?
He said,
who said that?
The Oriental.
Who's that?
Said,
Who's that? Who's the Oriental? What did you remember his name?
This is my music, you little bitch.
Yeah.
I'll take your heart out of your chest, tramp. When I come over to you.
Okay.
You dig? He said, what are you doing out here playing? Melcher sent this clown over to me. To Melcher, this is the man. Reverend Sun and Moon is the man to Terry Melcher. He's not the man to me. Put him in the main line of San Quentin. He's not the man guy. Put him over on death row for 2 or 3 times around. And he's not the same guy who was in some clown outfit playing some fucking game with some circus. You dig what I'm saying? In other words, I mean, Nando Real, there's a lot of men on this road. You dig?
So
that don't ever touch the music that you don't even know exists.
So it's got something to do with Terry Melcher.
Yeah, no, he came, he wanted to fight. I told him I don't want to fight. I said, Bruce, you want to fight this guy? You fight him. I'm not going to fight him. I ducked him and ran behind the barn. I don't want to fight him. So Bruce was getting ready to fight him. Somebody else was fighting him. He was fighting everybody else. You dig what I'm saying? Then he come to fight me, and I got one of the things that then I put over his head, and I laid him down. And I said, you want me to cut your head off? I'll take your life now. You know, and I I've got him right up to the point of taking his life right now. And I said, look, man, I don't want to go to death row for you. I don't want to go to San Quentin for you. He said, stay out of the music or cut my hell. I said, go back to your wife and get under her bed and beg her for forgiveness.
Okay.
Because if I take your head, it won't be where anybody will know it. I said, now get. And I ran him off. But when I ran him off, everybody else is still in the war. The war hasn't ended. The Korean War is still going on. MacArthur, MAC, is still standing on the 38th parallel. To you guys, the war's over. The war's not over where I live.
Sure, okay. But we've still got these dead people.
Huh?
We've still got these dead people in
Well,
this
there's
house.
a world full of all kinds of people that are dead.
But everyone always points at Charlie Manson and says...
That's because the DA sold him into that.
Okay.
He sold him into helter-skelter, so Sylvester Stallone.
So you didn't send them there?
I didn't send him anywhere.
Okay, you didn't send them there?
I'm not the director. I don't send people places.
It wasn't for helter-skelter? You weren't going to start a big revolution?
No.
Okay.
Hey, 25 years ain't there, no intelligence amongst you at all. I mean, because that doesn't make any sense to anybody,
But what you're saying now isn't making a lot of sense to a lot of people.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Sure.
You can't just explain it just in 1, 2, 3. It's not that simple. There's a running episode for 2 or 3 years of fights and sex orgies. And you know when you open up a sex orgy, what happens? When you get 4 or 5 bulls in the same ring, you know what? How all these bulls start banging on each other. I can't get my stuff up. You made me lose my stuff. I want to fight you. And you got all kinds of fights. You got all kinds of, in the words in the outlaw, man. That's what outlaws do, man. Outlaws are always fighting and killing each other, man. There ain't no new thing to where I live, man.
So you're saying the people in the house were
the only thing
outlaws
that made
too?
that, wait a minute, the only thing that made that any different than anything else is that broad happened to be an actor.
Okay.
If she hadn't been an actor, no one would have even heard about it, man, and probably no one would have got busted.
So you're saying that the people in the house were
No, I'm
outlaws
saying if
too?
you go to the L.A. morgue and you watch how many bodies they bring in there at night, they bring 200 or 300 bodies every night. In other words, that's life, man. People are killed all the time. And they say, well, don't you feel any remorse? That's different people doing a lot of different things, but directing someone to go do something like,
But they didn't do it for you, and you say...
There you go for me, man.
No. Oh, no, I'm going to accept what you're saying now. I'm going to accept for a moment that they didn't do it for you, okay? So I'm asking myself, why did they do it?
They do it because they had to do it.
They do it because they had to do it? They had a beef with those people?
No. Life pushes it to do that. Life pushes it to do that, and it's going to be done. It's got nothing to do with personality. It's not me.
Of course it has. Of course it's going to do it.
Man?
Of course it's going to do it
What am I,
personality.
God?
Because if you say that they didn't do it because they had a beef with those people, you're almost joining up with Vince Bugliosi, because you're saying it was done at random.
Let's look at it from his point of view. All he had was a bunch of murders and a bunch of people, and he wanted to win, and he took advantage of it completely. Let's face it, everybody in this world is out for number one, and everybody uses everybody else any way they can. And don't come up like he was doing it for the better of humanity, because he don't give a shit about humanity no more than anybody else does. When it comes down to it, everybody's digging their own hole for themselves to lay in, man.
But if it had anything to do with it being Terry Melcher's house once.
It was Terry Melcher's house because the people were at that ranch was mad at Terry Melcher because he didn't do what he said, number one. Number two, he sent somebody over there to fight. He caused some trouble. He almost got some other people killed. Some people put their life on the line because of Terry Melcher. Terry Melcher didn't even know about it. He wasn't even, no one ever told him about it. And this is the first time I've ever even brought it up. See, in other words, a lot of that poison that goes under the bridge, I just forget it and let it go on down the road because it doesn't matter. To dig it up only brings up more negative, more bad thought. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't prove anything. It doesn't, the time is done. The crimes are over. It's already gone through the things. It went through the changes, you know. Now they're coming back up and digging it back up to go through it all over again. Take it to court.
Well.
Give me my rights.
Okay.
Give me the rights you didn't give me.
So.
Or give me the throne of England.
Yeah. Some people say you should get a new trial.
Okay. If they don't give me a new trial, let's look at it from that point. Right. You don't give me a new trial, I ain't got no rights at all, man. I'm kept in handcuffs for 23 years. These people do anything they want. Take my mail anytime they want. They do anything they want to do to me. So where does that put you?
But
English speaking people, where does that put you?